What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Sid. I'm back. I know it's been a minute, but you know, back and better. If you're new here, welcome. My channel is about nursing and my journey through nursing school, as well as a little bit of lifestyle content here and there. So please be sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any other videos that I upload. And let's get into it. Okay, so as you know, since you clicked on this video, today I'm filming a what's in my clinical bag video, and I thought this video would be helpful because I personally watched a lot of YouTube videos before I started nursing school, just to kind of get an idea of what products would be best for me in my journey. So I thought that this video would be helpful to other people that might be starting nursing soon or in the future, if you're going into the clinical setting in the fall, or if you're returning, if you're returning to the clinical setting sometime soon, then maybe this will be helpful to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. There are two things that I'm going to mention in this video that are not directly in this bag here. One of them is because I accidentally left it when I was able to go to clinical, and then the other one is something that I always have on me. So I'm gonna get into showing you guys what's inside of my bag. Okay, so first let's talk about this bag here. This is a pretty big bag, and it's two-sided. And it has this really big strap, so I can kind of crossbody it if I want to. This bag was a gift that I got from my mom for Christmas. It is from the scrub company Figs. If you pay any attention to nursing related content, if you watched my previous scrub trying on video, if you get on social media, you have probably seen tons of people in Figs. They're the flyest, fashionable, sporty but cute, comfortable scrubs that everyone likes, because let's be honest, scrubs aren't the most appealing thing to wear. So it is nice that there are some companies trying to make them more cute as well as more functional and comfortable. So this bag is from Figs. They come out with bags every so often, but it's more of a whenever we run out, we're just out. So I saw this bag, and I only saw it because my mom sent it to me. And then surprise, she gave it to me for Christmas. So I like it because it's kind of a bottomless situation and a big crossbody strap. And I can fit everything that I need for school in here, as well as my lunch bag can go in here, so I don't have to carry a million things. My giant hydro jug can fit in here. And it has this little clip clasp, so you can close it like that. But it still is fairly open for the most part once you clip it. And then this clip here is so if you want to clip your keys on, so that you won't be digging through your bag for forever trying to find your keys. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what's inside of my bag and the things that I feel like are very essential for my clinical day. So first and foremost is my badge. This is my badge, and that's the little badge reel that we were given with it from the school. I have some extra mini Sharpies on here because you always need some kind of way to label if you're going to be changing a dressing or hanging an IV. You need to label the tubing. Like, you always need to have something to write with when you're in a patient's room. And sometimes a pen just, it doesn't do what you need it to do. And then I also have this normal lab values card here, and it's double-sided. These were actually something that the Student Nurses Association at my school made and sold just to like fundraise and stuff, and it's a great resource. So every now and then you might forget what your normal hemoglobin should be or what the normal sodium levels are. So it's just nice to have a little reference sheet, and it'll always be on me because, you know, we clip our badges. Always have to have your badge on. So next, I have my blue light glasses. If you watched my video about me working during coronavirus in hospital, you saw these, you saw what they look like. They're just clear frame blue light glasses, no prescription. I don't have a prescription, I don't wear contacts. But you can kind of see how it picks up the light, and they help me a lot because I do get headaches looking at computer screens for so long. So I try to keep those with me at all times for school. Next, we have hand sanitizer. This is my favorite Bath & Body Works fragrance, Champagne Toast. I have so many of these little hand sanitizers. I even have regular ones that aren't from Bath & Body Works. I just feel like it's always important to have some kind of way to clean my hands. Sometimes I'll have little wipes if I can find those. You know, it's a little bit hard to come by these days, but I do always try to keep something to clean my hands in my bag. And another thing I keep is some kind of chapstick, lip gloss, something. This is one of my favorite lip glosses. Oh, it's upside down. This is one of my favorite ones. This one isn't open right now, but I usually get my lip gloss from Bath & Body Works as well. I get this kind, and I get the pink mint. Okay, so now we're getting into more of the functional items, the things that you might use way more often. Even though, you know, you're gonna clean your hands while you're in the hospital and clinical, you might not put on chapstick. I know they sell the little badge chapstick holders. This is just my personal preference. Whatever floats your boat. So next we have some sticky notes. This is just off of a big stack that I had. I try to keep sticky notes just in case I need to remind myself of something. I'll write it down really quick, slap it on my folder or my care plan or whatever. I can slap it on where I won't forget something that I know I'm gonna look at later, because you never really know. Your instructor, your clinical instructor might tell you something, and if you don't write it down, you probably will forget, because there's so much that happens during the clinical day. So keep some sticky notes on me just in case. I also keep a plain black pen, just a plain black pen, because you're gonna be writing stuff down throughout the day, whether it's something that the nurse you're paired with for the patient says, whether it's something the patient says themselves, something that the doctor might say, your clinical instructor, anybody that you encounter, you might learn something that you need to write down and remember. So it's always good to have a pen as well. And then I keep a highlighter. I usually do this because I feel like it's important to remember if your patient has low lab values, what their blood sugar is, if their vitals might have been a little low or high. Sometime throughout the day, you can highlight those consistencies or inconsistencies. It just makes it easier for you to keep up with the information. And then whenever you go to give your report, you can be like, oh, this was weird, this was abnormal, this was a little off today, maybe this was a little bit better today. It just helps you remember so that you can recall that information a little bit better. Okay, so now big items are next. One thing I always keep in my clinical bag is a folder. This is just a plain white folder, 5-star, that I picked up from Target. I really like it because it's that plastic material that you can wipe off. A little ASMR for you. But it's easy to clean, and I feel like that's a big part of being in the hospital that I don't like to bring those germs home with me. So if I can wipe it off with some purple wipes before I put it in my bag or wherever, it makes me feel a lot better. So I keep extra paper, just some notebook paper, inside of my folder, as well as some documents that I need based on whatever we're provided about clinical from our designated instructor. I always keep this with me. I also keep the extra paper in case when I'm working on my care plan or taking care of my patient throughout the day, you may learn something new, find some new information out that you need to add into the care plan that you previously typed up before coming to clinical. So the way my school does it, we gather our patient information the day before we go to clinical, work on a care plan. You get there, you need to have as much of the care plan done as possible. And then you can add on to that and make changes as the day goes on. If the patient met your goal, you write that in, all of that good stuff. So it's always good just to have a little bit of extra paper in case you need to add something into that. The next thing I have here is my stethoscope case. It's just a plain black carbon fiber case. I can wipe this off as well with some purple wipes. Since it's kind of like a fabric filling carbon fiber, I don't use bleach wipes on it, but I do keep this in my bag. I feel like it's important to protect your stethoscope because they're not cheap, and if you really care, you'll want to keep the same one for a long time, and it makes it easier for you to not misplace your things. Okay, so this is the inside of my stethoscope case. In here, I have my stethoscope on this side. I have the Littman Classic 3. It is the all black, black on black everything. Black is my favorite color. So this is what it looks like. And then it has the bell and the diaphragm that you can rotate. I actually got this stethoscope on sale. There was a markdown on Amazon through the Littman company, and this Facebook group that I'm in posted about it, so I jumped on that deal last year before I started nursing school. Yeah, I feel like it's a good functional stethoscope, and for a starter, it's not too expensive. And I also have on the opposite side of where my stethoscope is, it's a little net situation. So I have my bandage scissors, my bandage scissors, my pen light, an extra black pen, a pencil, and then another black pen. This one is like the Pilot G2 pens. I like these for me to use. And then say that you're getting a patient to sign informed consent or something, I'll give them this kind of pen. Or if you have a patient on contact precautions or some kind of special precautions, I'll feel comfortable leaving this kind of pen in the room out of their reach, just because it's not a good quality, like it's not a bad quality pen, but it's not the best quality pen, and they come in a pack for $1. So if I don't get this pen back, it'll be okay. And I have my pen light here, you know, pen light is cracked, unfortunately, but it gets the job done. And then my bandage scissors. And the way our scrubs are for school, they have a little strap on them where you can just kind of slide these in. It's so convenient, so you don't have to worry about them flopping around in your pocket all day. And that is everything in my stethoscope case. And I'll zip this back up and keep everything as it should be. Okay, up next in my bag, I have a little bag of feminine products. If you saw my video about working in the hospital during COVID, you saw a different bag. I try to keep a bag of some kind of feminine products in every single bag I have. So I have one in my book bag, one in my clinical bag, work bag, and then if I have a purse I'm carrying, I just kind of rotate it between bags, mainly because as a woman, you never really know what your body's gonna do. It's always nice to be prepared. You may be in class with other females who have an emergency. It's always nice to just have some just in case. Up next, I have this little supply kit situation. This was given to me from another school when I went to tour schools before I started my bachelor's degree. Not currently working on a bachelor's degree, but we'll talk about that in another video. So this little kit here has a little mini stapler, staples, a tiny hole puncher, some tape, paper clips, rubber bands, and sticky notes. And honestly, it's been very handy for when we have to turn in care plans. I feel like my clinical group members have used my little stapler more than I have, but it's always nice just to have, just so you don't have to go asking the nurses at the nurses station, because everybody's busy and you don't want to really disturb anyone, or at least that's how I feel. I don't like feeling like I'm bothering people. The next thing I have in my bag is a mini composition book. Honestly, this is like my Bible when I'm in clinical. See a little bit of information there. I can't show you too much because HIPAA, but I tend to write down my plan for the day with my patients, like what needs to be done, if they're blood sugar or not, how often their blood sugar needs to be checked, how they get to the bathroom, what their vitals were, little like notes from talking to the nurse on the floor, as well as getting a report or giving a report. I'll write stuff down in here that I need to remember, how much output and intake the patient has, how much of their breakfast or meals they eat, if they got their bath, if they need a CHG bath. There's so many things that I write down here just for me to remember and to be able to do my best as a nurse. And honestly, once you do get into nursing from my perspective, since the hospitals that I work in and that I have clinical in the system, the nurses are walking around with their mods and everything, so they might not write things down as often because they have the computer in front of them. As a student, you don't always have access to the computer when you want it or need it, so sometimes it makes it easier to write things down for your med passes, and you can keep up with, if you're giving an AM med pass, what do they get at what time, how many pills equal that dose, all of the things. It just makes it a lot easier for me to be able to write things down. Okay, so the next thing I have in here is more of like a personal care thing. I always keep some kind of lotion in my bag. Washing your hands all of the time, using hand sanitizer all of the time will dry your hands out. Trust me, I know. I work in the hospital too. My hands get so dry, especially now during COVID, because you're washing your hands maybe 2 or 3 more times than you usually would, which isn't a bad thing. It's just everyone's more alert. Like, you always clean your hands before you go in the room, always clean your hands before you leave the room. But I also wash my hands when I go in the room and before I leave it and after I leave it, so it just throws in some extra dryness. This is also Champagne Toast from Bath & Body Works. This is the body cream. I prefer the body cream to the lotion because it's thicker. It has cocoa butter, shea butter, and aloe in all their little body creams. so it really leaves your hands moisturized. And I don't usually put on like a smelly lotion when I'm about to go into a patient's room, because you know that some people may have kind of reactions, things like that. So I also keep some Palmer's cocoa butter lotion because that doesn't have a strong smell. But this is just what I have right now. Palmer's is in my work bag, and the work bag is in the car because COVID and germs and all of the things. So the next thing you're about to see, you've seen before, it is my box of colorful pens. I keep this in my bag. Well, I switch it between my book bag, my work bag, and my clinical bag, because my planner also switches between all of those bags. So this is my planner. This is my planner. You've also seen this before. This is from the brand Bando. It is a 12-month planner, and I prefer the 12-month ones now that I'm not full-time in school anymore. I feel like it just makes more sense to have one that starts in January, ends in December, than having one that starts in the middle of the year. So I also like these planners because they're made by women for women. Super cute, gotta love it. Okay, so the last thing that we have in the bag is deodorant. This is the Dove 0% aluminum. I have tried so many other natural deodorants, and I think this one works the best for keeping you smelling good and not sweating as much, because that's a thing, especially under the PPE. We wear plastic gowns, as you may have or may know of from use or seeing it all over TV, news, network, social media, all of that. So I always try to keep some extra deodorant just in case, because I sweat. We all do it, it's natural, but I try to keep some just in case, because I don't like the way it feels when you feel a little sticky down there. Go wipe it off in the bathroom and then put some more on, call it a day. So that is everything that I have in my clinical bag. If you want to see what's in my school bag, let me know. Comment down below what all you keep in your bag for clinical. Anything helps.